Gaudy stats. Gaudy stats. Good God, that's Gaudy. Welcome to Gaudy Stats.
With Ben Simmons.
What's on the menu, Benny boy?
My eyes feel like two tumbleweeds. Two very dry things. Spheres. Clumps of sand. Grains of salt. Been watching football for hours. For the whole day. My ass is sweaty. Well, I'm sweaty just in general. I was lying down, eating these dumplings that are very high in sodium, and sweating my ass off and feeling my heart rate go up from eating food, not exercise. I was reclined. I was nary burning a calorie. Oh boy, what a day! What a wild week one in the NFL. Pretty crazy. Consumed so much of it. Red zone was glorious per usual. Big numbers put up. The quarterbacks. The fantasy performances by these quarterbacks. My goodness. Dak Prescott, 405 yards, 4 TDs. Only 25 completions? Unfucking real. Andy Dalton, 35 completions, 418 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know, I heard a lot of anal cysts say that Andy Dalton and the Bengals were going to get destroyed, crushed. And so like a little idiot, I ran to the waiver wire and picked up Seattle thinking they were going to destroy the Bengals. Well, you know what? Turns out they did pretty well. 12 fantasy points, but they didn't fucking destroy him, man. But you know, it's week one in the NFL. These things you think are certain are not. And I discovered that. Once again, a man by the name of Brad Evans, and don't ask me why I listened to this man, but he swore on his mother's life, on everybody he holds dear's life, that David Montgomery was going to be a second coming of LaDainian Tomlinson. Well, let me tell you something. He wasn't. He's in a fucking timeshare. A 3-headed monster. Not really. It was like a fucking 3-headed puppy dog. It's pretty bad. But come on, man. And why did I listen to... Why? I don't usually listen to these guys, but for some reason, this guy was Brad Evans was staking his entire reputation on the fact that David Montgomery was going to be like a Devonta Freeman a few years ago when he had that amazing season with all the touchdowns. Todd Gurley-esque. I mean, I should have stopped myself. You know, Chris Carson's sitting right there. I've been reading all these great things about Chris Carson. Oh, he's going to catch 50 passes. Oh, Chris Carson, he's going to be a good value. Chris Carson. What did he go for in our draft? Oh, like $22. What did David Montgomery go for? 28. Now, I'm not totally positive about the $22, but I'm just saying, are you fucking kidding me, Mr. Evans? Meanwhile, the Pats are destroying the Steelers right now. I'm watching fourth quarter is going on right now. Let's see. 30-3. Okay, Brady has 340 yards, 3 touchdowns at this point. I mean, they're racking up these stats. I mean, Philip Dorsett has 2 touchdowns. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, back to the QBs, though. Lamar Jackson had a great game, but I have him in fantasy, and no one wants to hear somebody else talk about their fantasy team ad nauseum in a positive light. So, the next guy, Matthew Stafford, had a crazy game. Like, I watched a lot of this game, and I did not see these stats accumulate. They were accumulated as if by magic, as if a ghost inserted these statistics into the scorecard, because 385 passing yards. I did not. It was a low key 385, 3 touchdowns. Holy crap! They're just so. Get this, all right. There are so many QBs that got over 20 fantasy points. Sam Darnold, Russell Wilson, Jacoby Brissett, Eli Manning, Minshew from the Jags came in relief of Nick Foles, who broke his back and shoulder and face. Josh Allen, Matt Ryan, Marcus Mariota, Andy Dalton, Kyler Murray. Oh. So when I look at Kyler Murray, I think to myself, you need to watch nothing but Drew Brees film. Just, you got to lock yourself in a tiny room, like maybe the size of a porta potty, preferably thick metal, steel. Lock yourself inside of there, bolt yourself to a chair, and then get a couple of weird guys like in Clockwork Orange, and have them tape your eyelids open, and just watch Drew Brees highlights for 24 hours straight. So take him directly from the Arizona Stadium and put him into a room and make him watch Drew Brees highlights after the game, right into the morning or to the next night. Sorry, do that now, because he needs to get on his tippy toes and start looking over this line. All right, listen. Hey, I played in the NFL, bro. I'm sitting here with any amount of authority on this subject. No, not at all. But my point is, he reminds me when he throws a little. He kind of reminds me of Drew Brees a little bit, Breesian. Now it's 20% of it right now. I mean, he's 20. I mean, he just has a really quick release, and it looks a little effortless for how small he is. And I was telling my friends Samuel and the Kimpster that he's just relaxed. He's stoic, but I think he's the first water bug QB. I think he's the first water. And someone's like, "Excuse me, Doug Flutie, bro." And I'm gonna take this can of beer and I'm gonna throw it at his forehead and tell him to shut up, because no. Doug Flutie, he might have been 1 inch taller, and he wasn't as fast. But no, I mean, okay, you could say Doug Flutie, and I love Doug Flutie, but is he a water bug though? I mean, I guess he kind of was. I don't know if he ran enough. Let's look up Doug Flutie's stats, because the truth is, Kyler Murray only had 13 rushing yards. I mean, it's nice to get that little point bonus, but let's see. And really fast, before I get too deep, he finished with 308 passing yards, 29 completions, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 3 rushes for 13 yards, and a 2-point conversion. He played an amazing fourth quarter. They were down 24-6, I believe, and then they scored the next 18 points in a row, or unanswered, although my friend Dan doesn't like unanswered. But I'm just gonna say unanswered just to kind of tweak them. 18 points in a row, unanswered. It was amazing. And he was zipping the ball around. He's running around in the pocket a lot. He had great awareness. He kind of just focused and once again, see, I fell into the thing I said earlier. I have him in fantasy on my bench, so I'm talking about him a little bit more with love and tenderness, because he's mine. I own him. No, that's fucked up. No, I don't. It's in a virtual world. A lot of people own him. A lot of people collectively together. Okay, we're all collectivists. We all own him together. Okay, this is sounding really creepy. It's sounding weird, and I don't want to be associated with what I just said. Okay, so I redact it from the record. I got a bunch of black marker that I've just scratched everything I just said out. Okay, it's erased. Anyways, but yeah, he played great. And if he can dance around like a little I don't know, Lucky Charms man back there, and just dodge and throw some dimes. Like the throw he had a really nice throw to David Johnson, great receiving running back. He's like one of the almost, I would say, one of the perfect running backs for this system. If it's going to be just constantly throwing air raid, he's going to be good for that. So he played great too. It was a great game. It tied though, 27-27, which is, I mean, it's lame. Nobody likes a tie. Actually, I found myself when it was happening, I was like, oh, it's better than a loss. I mean, it's a neutral thing, but it gives both teams. God, I sound like an old mom who's at a Highland Youth recreational soccer game and just talking about how both teams won and stuff. But no, I mean, it was good for Kyler. At least he didn't lose. He came back and got them all the way back. There were a couple times where they could have gone for it. And they kind of settled. Like the coach was almost afraid to lose and stuff. But I think as a whole, it was a cool scheme. Kyler looked really good. But what else? There were some other great quarterback performances. Case Keenum out of nowhere, 30 completions, 380 yards, 3 touchdowns. They lost to Philly, though, unfortunately. Mahomes hurt his ankle. He had like 300 and something yards in the first half, finished with 3 touchdowns. He had like 380 something. I don't know. Hurt his ankle. Oh, man. I hope he isn't that hurt because I want to see him become a legend. I want to watch it in real time. I want to see another 50 touchdowns, 5,000 passing yards. I think it'll probably be more like 40 touchdowns, 400 or 4,700 passing yards, something like that. But he's so much fun to watch, man. And I have Tyreek Hill. He went down. It sucks, but now we're gonna get to see the Hardman guy. We're gonna get to see some of the youngins. Maybe some Darwin. That would be nice. Christian McCaffrey had fucking hell. I should have drafted him, man. Geezy, that's a great pick. 200 over 200 total yards, 128 rushing, 81 receiving, 2 rush touchdowns. He only went for like $56 in our auction, like 3 down back. The man touched the ball 29 times. He had 19 rushes and 10 receptions, 81 yards. Instead, I got Tyreek Hill, and he's hurt. Not just for a few weeks, but they weren't the same price. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Chris Carson. He had 15 rushes for 46 yards. Nothing incredible there. But he had a rush TD and a receiving TD and 6 receptions. So, and they beat Cincinnati. So he's versatile. He's fun to watch. He's just kind of a throwback, 3 down back. Really enjoyed watching him play. Alshon Jeffrey had a kind of interesting game. Rush touchdown and a receiving touchdown. That was pretty cool. Let's check out some more of these receivers. I need some receivers, man, after that injury I had. Oh my God, Sammy Watkins. So the guy I played, I'm not gonna. Well, it was my good friends, Miko and Dan. They chose to sit Sammy Watkins on the bench, and it really benefited me. I can see why they didn't play him because they have Kelsey. So you don't want 2 Chiefs, theoretically. And it's just one of those things. He just exploded when Tyreek got hurt. 100 and how many fucking yards did he have? Jesus Christ. He had 42 fantasy points. It's one of the biggest receiver fantasy point outputs I've seen. 198 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. 11 targets, only 9 receptions. Gaudy. That's like Madden level, just extremely gaudy stats. give you a little tingle, in certain places. Yeah, Deshaun Jackson, back, better than ever. 10 targets, 8 receptions, 154 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown. I don't know what to make of this guy. I don't know if people are going to throw down what are people going to bid on this guy? It could just be, a deep threat. I was going to say Eric Moulds type. I mean, Eric Moulds used to catch Eric Moulds was more of a possession receiver. Who was that fucking Bills receiver who would catch nothing but bombs? I just looked it up. Lee Evans. God, Lee Evans, man. 2 for 80 and 2 touchdowns, those kind of lines. Josh Gordon, when he's got 3 for 70 and a touchdown. I don't know what to make of him and Antonio Brown together. Part of me thinks he could get better. He just less pressure on him because Antonio Brown's going to be the 1, Gordon's the 2. He could just feast. Kind of like Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster kind of thing. But then you got Julian Edelman as well. I don't know how that's going to play out. I'm curious. And T.Y. Hilton with 2 touchdowns without Andrew Luck. That was one of the biggest surprises for me today. Did not expect T.Y. to do those things. It was incredible. God, my eyes really do hurt. Jesus. I was staring at the screen. Eyes feel I'm trying to think of more dry shit. Fucking 2 ping pong balls rolled in honey and then rolled in salt and stuck in my eye. It's fucking weird. This is what happens when you record a pod at night, and yeah, you might be slightly inebriated. That's what happens. But it was the first week of football. Okay, the first week. I was actually on the Oregon coast and didn't have any Wi-Fi, so I was going crazy with all these waiver wire pickups and shit because I wanted to get a look at as many guys I could get a look at and drop them, pick them up. So I was scorching the earth a little bit. It's frowned upon, but the first week I ended up picking up Jakeem Grant, and he was just fucking awful. And then I picked up Marquise Goodwin, not Brown, although I wish I had, if I'd had the foresight. Although I do remember Kempster did drop his name in our preseason show, fantasy preview show, saying he was a name to watch. So I should have written that down on my arm, scrawled it in Memento, so I could see it during the draft. Because I gotta say, man, I was thinking about Chris Carson when I started doing research. It was Chris Carson. And then in the draft, I fucking I blacked out and spent a bunch of my money on Phillip Lindsay and Le'Veon Bell, and they might turn out okay, but I think Chris Carson is going to be one of the steals of the draft. He's a 3-down back. I think McGee got him for... Who got Chris Carson? Oh no, sorry, Micah. So I think McGee got McCaffrey. Yeah, it was a great pick. But that was a great pick, getting Chris Carson. They might involve Rashad Penny at some point. I don't know, but he touched the ball over 20 times. And if he gets 1,200 yards and catches 50 balls, that's that'd be pretty nice. Even if he gets 1,000 yards and catches 50 balls, then he's going to get 400 receiving yards or something. It's going to be great. God, I'm obsessed with... I just realized I'm obsessed with Chris Carson. If you love him so much, why don't you marry him? Maybe I will. But that Seattle team was strange. Lockett is up to his old tricks. I swear, Lockett had another huge gain. He dropped it. It was right in his breadbasket, as they say. I'm not hating because I know how hard it is. Oh, I haven't played out there on the field. But I can imagine how hard it is being out there playing a professional fucking football game. I'm not going to kill him for dropping it, but he could have had a bigger day. He had a touchdown. I haven't seen his full stat line. I'm not just going to read you stats. I mean, I will sometimes, but I'm not just going to fucking read them one after the other. Okay? But he looked sharp. He looked fast. He looked good. Okay? He looked talented. Trying to think of other adjectives to use to describe good, successful man at his job. But, I want to go back to Kyler for a second because, man, I'm trying to think about what he's capable of. He's so little. Again, if he watches the Drew Brees highlights, okay, and he stands on his tippy toes, and he just drops little dimes over the people's outstretched arms, the defenders. I make it sound so easy. Puts it right over the defender's arm just perfectly each time. If he does all the things that I'm telling him to do, I'm an expert, see? No, if he just I would just tell him, study Drew Brees. Because they're about the same height, except he's faster than Drew Brees. What if he could be Drew Brees with wheels? Think about that, folks. Drew Brees, but two, wheels on either side of him, so he can, and they're electronic, so he can just speed around everybody. What if that would be fucking crazy. Holy shit, did I just come up with a new futuristic NFL football league? Well, I did it! Na 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 na. Yeah! Wow, Mark Cuban said you just need to be right once. So I think this is my once. People, it's called a handicap football, Simmons. What? Really? No, I mean people. I'm not trying. I mean no insults here, by the way. I'm not being insensitive. Don't even try it. What I'm saying is, they would be in motorized scooter type things, like motorized segways, and they'd be throwing their foot, how would you tackle though? You just ram. Oh fuck! You would ram into them and try to fucking kill them. You'd try to crash your Segway into their Segway, or maybe you'd have missiles, grenade launchers, flamethrowers. No, landmines. What about AK-47s? No. What about revolvers? 9mm, Uzis. No Uzis. This is all stupid. Everything I've said is really dumb, and you want me to stop talking? Okay. Fuck you. I'm not gonna stop talking. So, wow, I just had a minute-long conversation with myself. Anyways, Kyler is, I could wax poetic about this guy all night. I'm intrigued. I'm excited. What can he do? What's his ceiling? What's going to happen when he gets crunched in between two 400-pound defensive linemen? Are his bones going to disintegrate, or are they going to shatter? I'm just curious because he might die. That's one thing, is he looks like a tiny little sprite, like a little, as I said, like a leprechaun running around, like his head has been chopped off. He's like a leprechaun chicken whose head's been chopped off. I'm mixing all kinds of stupid idioms and phrases and myths and legends together, but he's magical. He's magical. He looks... I'm intrigued. I think they know, Ben. Why don't you shut the fuck up? Oh, really? Okay. Who else? I said I was not going to talk about Lamar. I'm not going to do it, okay? Because, am I excited? Maybe. Was it against Miami? As Kempster said, yes. So am I going to get head over heels over that? Not yet. If he does it against a good team, the question is, are the Ravens an offensive juggernaut? I would say there's a percentage chance, yes, but there's also a huge percentage No fucking way. Like, not even fucking close, you fucking idiot. So, I'm still on the fence. We'll see. We'll see in the upcoming weeks. Even next week, I believe they play Arizona, which will be a fun affair. Two running quarterbacks, two athletic men. Kyler versus Lamar. Excuse me. Are the Ravens a transcendent offense? Are they going to be like... I don't see it right now. We'll see. Miami looked historically bad. They got beat 59-10. What was it? It was just something insane. I mean, I hate that I'm agreeing with the Kimster, as people call him, but I think I have to agree with him because we'll just see. Okay, we'll see. You know, it was on the road, but Lamar is from Florida. I mean, it was an impressive win in that regard. It was on the road. But let's not get carried away. Okay? Okay. This is Joe Pesci, okay? Okay? Okay, okay, okay. Yes, I do impressions, folks. Shut the fuck up. Okay, Keenan Allen, man, that guy... I was watching him. I wanted just to I'm gonna shut the fuck up pretty soon because it's late. I got shit to do tomorrow. I want to get to sleep. I just wanted just to be a quick little, just touching a few bases, fingers and pies. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyways, Keenan Allen had an amazing catch. He scoops it up off the ground. It was so funny. All the defenders around him were like, "This is not a catch," doing the whole like incomplete mime thing. Anyways, he knew it was a catch. It was fucking amazing. They did a replay of that. Man, he had a great game. What did he have? 128, 123 yards and a touchdown, 8 receptions. John Brown just came alive in the second half. 7 catches, 123 and a touchdown as well. Oh, man. Larry Fitzgerald, throwback game, 13 targets, 8 catches, 113 yards, touchdown. It was a great day. It's a great day for these guys, great day for me. I found myself really enjoying the games. I was, this year I just was not as motivated. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I love the NBA season. I was kind of just latched onto that. But now that the games have started, oh boy, I just took a fucking needle with NFL in it and I just shoved it right in my fucking vein, whatever that vein is. That heroin users, they get it, Simmons. But you know what I mean. I just all day long, man. My eyes, what are they like? I've done let me think. What are 2 really dry things? 2 saltine crackers. That's what they feel like. Man. Yeah. Oh, poor. Oh, his eyes are dry because he's been watching football all day. Oh. But they hurt. My eyes. Oh, man. I got to get a shower. I got to get to sleep. But I hope you enjoyed the games. So many gaudy stats. So many. Stats for days. Explosions. Statistical explosions. We only touched on... I mean, we got to like probably half of the big games, but they were... Oh, my goodness. This is what we live for, folks. These are the stats that we worship, that we get on our knees and we pray to. Okay? This is why we sit in front of the TV, the glowing box. We get on our knees and we pray to the glowing box. That's what we do. What happened? I was kind of blacked out for a second. I got hypnotized by... I was watching like the fucking post-game show on NBC. I've watched so many shitty commercials. And I've been watching Red Zone, but like watching Sunday Night Football, there's all these commercials. It is an assault. It's an advertising assault on your senses. These commercials are insane. There's so many of them. And if you watch it online on NBCSports.com, just let me get on my little old man pedestal for a second here and complain about something. But if you watch it on NBCSports.com, when you log on, they make you watch 5 commercials before you can even start watching the stream, man. You got to watch 5 commercials before you can even start watching as the game. This is not the commercial. It's not a commercial break. They automatically make you watch 5 commercials. You got to sit there with your dick in your hand, masturbating while you watch. What? Wait, no, you don't have to do that. But you watch these 5 commercials. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I got up, I walked out of the room. And that showed them, wow, my protest really, they really felt that one. Man, I'm a hero. Am I? Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely a hero. Anyways, I'm glad we established that. Thanks for listening, guys. Just a little check-in. Try to do more of these, here and there. Yeah, hope you enjoyed week 1. It was fun. It was so much, just immersing yourself in the violence, the bone crushing, hamstring snapping, skull fracturing, severed tendons, people almost dying, people trying to kill each other on a field, on just a grassy ground, just running in full speed, trying to just rip each other's heads off. Blood spilling, people's teeth flying out, people eating teeth, people eating arms. I need to go to bed. Anyways, thanks again. Signing off. Yeah, bye. Okay. Yeah.
Gaudy stats. Good God, that's Gaudy.